It features the world's longest tunnel slide at 178 metres long. Boris's idea. Woo!
If you want to know how Boris Johnson might rule in post-Brexit Britain, what better place to start than London? The city he ran as mayor for 8 years. Boris plays a cartoonish caricature in public, but can he take power seriously? His legacy in London? Building a playground for the rich. When Boris Johnson announced his candidacy in the Tory leadership race, he mentioned his mayoral record on poverty, crime, affordable housing and road deaths. But the statistics used were difficult to source and at times exaggerated. So we're going to look at his physical achievements in the city. Like this one, the conversion of the Olympic Stadium to West Ham United's football ground at the cost of hundreds of millions of pounds of public money. Well, this one, the ArcelorMittal Orbit, the UK's tallest sculpture, a steel totem to Boris Johnson.
It features the world's longest tunnel slide at 178 metres long. Boris's idea, and was meant to raise £1.2 million a year to pay for the upkeep of the Olympic Park. Instead, it cost the taxpayer 10k a week because entrance to the park were less than half of what was expected. Ooh, at least it looks nice.
The structure contains enough steel to make 267 double-decker buses, another key part of the Boris tapestry. 267 double-decker buses, hopefully with opening windows. Boris Johnson ordered a new fleet of buses for London's transport network. The model is called the Routemaster. It was heralded as a feat of design, echoing the iconic open-back bus of the 60s and state-of-the-art in its technology. However, TfL was forced to recall and retrofit the buses because the top deck windows did not open.
The Routemasters were nicknamed Roastmasters because of the problem.
And on one bus, a temperature of 41 degrees centigrade was recorded. That's higher than the legal limit of transporting cattle. It cost £2 million for the changes to be made, and this wasn't the first redesign. The buses initially featured a hop-on, hop-off open back and conductor, but this was phased out because of expense. Impractical, expensive. Are we beginning to notice a theme? Which brings us to the Emirates airline, the Olympic link between Greenwich and the Royal Docks. A commuting choke point. Or not. In 2012, the number of cable car commuters was 16. In 2015, it was 0. The airline initially saw 70,000 users a week, but that's now dipped to 20,000, and it's estimated to cost the taxpayer £50,000 every week. It is the most expensive urban cable car in the world. Dissatisfied with one pricey and useless Thames crossing, Boris went after a bridge, the Garden Bridge. It was meant to be built here, somewhere between Waterloo and Blackfriars, but never got out of the conceptual stage. It cost us £43 million. And where is it? He had nothing to do with the tube. The tube's pretty good. Probably Boris's most positive legacy in London is a significant boost to cycling. Superhighways, a cycling commissioner, and of course, Boris bikes. Probably his most recognisable policy in all of the city, and it now covers most of its centre. It was meant to cost the taxpayer nothing, but we ended up paying more than £200 million for it over the course of Johnson's mayoralty, making the scheme the most expensive of its kind in the whole world. Segregated cycle lanes increased congestion, and what's more, Boris Johnson halved the congestion charge area, taking power seriously. The Peckham Peace Wall. In 2011, after London rioted, messages of love were written on post-it notes and stuck to the plywood that covered Poundland's smashed-up windows. After repairs, residents didn't want to lose this record of public thought, so it was turned into a mural. Riots in the city, and Boris Johnson on holiday in Canada. He initially refused to cut his holiday short. It took 3 days for him to decide to come back. And that's Boris Johnson's London legacy, and Britain's future. The city he ran as mayor for 8 years. Come on, Boris. When Boris Johnson announced his candidacy in the Tory leadership race, much was made. Oh, there we go, another one. Come on, Boris.